Not having a
debate.
debate.
Introduction and then Mr. Preey, then back,
And then she'll go. You need a chair.
Tomkins is sitting up here, right?
Yeah, why don't you get another chair? Can you bring another chair for her? Those are for just in case somebody needs to sit.
Okay,
That's all right.
So for live, we're not going to be on video. We put two chairs that side over here. So you got to come over this way. You only one moderator?
Yeah.
Okay, you only need one chair. Oh, okay. Just one chair up here. And then you got to slide your chair down there, like to where it was. Yeah, right to where it was.
Let me try this here.
One more foot.
Oh, get in front of you. Ah, I didn't know. You got two.
What is it? What?
Because he has two cameras.
Are you okay?
And again, you're live streaming right now.
You're on live. You're on live now.
Good evening, everybody. We hope you have enjoyed or are enjoying the lovely food prepared by our friends here, Javon Rainy, and the organizations that have brought you this evening. We want to share with you the organizations that are part of the new Voting is Power. What is it? Voting is Power. What is it? Pittsburgh Regional Coalition. Lorraine Cross, without the cook, our civic engagement coordinator for BPAB, had the wisdom to come up with VIP as an idea for this presidential election. As you know, the primary is the 23rd, the general election the 5th of November. Our feeling from the coalition is that we must create an energy about this election, this primary and the general election, starting now. This is a crucial election. The future of our democracy is at stake, in the opinion of many of us. How America will look going forward after November is important, is beyond important. Our future is at stake as a nation. The Pittsburgh Regional Coalition includes Voting is Power, is BPEP, the Black Political Empowerment Project, the League of Women Voters of Greater Pittsburgh, John Lewis, Transformative Justice Coalition. Give them a hand again for the lovely, what is that called? The food. Can we say food? Thank you. That's some good chili, though, really, and cornbread.
And a lot of the people in the back serving it, so give them a round.
Absolutely. All of our volunteers and partners. We have the YWCA of Greater Pittsburgh. Wake up the vote. Can we say, I just love that. Wake up the vote. What do we have to do? Don't put us to sleep. When we started Black Political Empowerment Project 39 years ago, on May 21st, the New Pittsburgh Courier had a headline, Waking the Sleeping Giant. And unfortunately, too many black and brown people are still asleep, and others who might be of the LGBTQAI community, the young folks, others with disabilities or whatever. We cannot afford to be asleep in this election cycle. If you have to put needles in your butt in the bed, do that. Thank you very much. That wasn't in the script. Voter Empowerment Education Enrichment Movement called VEEM. Can we say VEEM? NAACP Pittsburgh branch. Can we say NAACP? Alliance for Police Accountability, APA. Can we say APA? Vote Writers. Vote Writers. They provide a lot of services to many people. Black Voter Matters. Say it with me. Black voters matter. Pump. We have our executive director in the house. Pump. Can we say pump? Everybody vote. What do we have to do? Everybody vote. National Council of Jewish Women. The National Council of Jewish Women. Abolitionist Law Center. Abolitionist Law Center. National Council of Negro Women. Say it with me. National Council of Negro Women. Central Baptist Church. Central Baptist Church. Is that you? All right now. Beulah Baptist Church, where we're going to host our last event on the 16th. Beulah. Shout it out. St. James AME Church, where we're going to be next Tuesday at 6 o'clock. In East Liberty, 444 Lincoln Avenue. Pittsburgh Higher Ground Ministries, who also assisted with our chili today and refreshments. Alpha Phi Alpha National Fraternity. Alpha Phi Alpha. Say A5. A5. One hood. One hood. Peace is possible, coalition. What do we want? Peace is possible. We have to stay in that brand of thinking. West in power. Shout it out. West in power. South Pittsburgh, Coalition for Peace. South Pittsburgh, Coalition for Peace. The Urban League of Greater Pittsburgh. Shout it out with me now. The Urban League of Greater Pittsburgh, one of our historic organizations, not only in Pittsburgh, but throughout the nation. The Links. The Links. We want to link people to what? Power. Link people to voting. Fighting back. What do we need to do? We need to be fighting back. Freedom Unlimited, Incorporated. Freedom Unlimited, that's where our office is for BPEP and the NACP. Last Saturday before last was a special moment, by the way. If you weren't there, you missed a powerful, passionate moment where my civil rights mother, and many of us call the civil rights mother of Pittsburgh, was honored with an honorary listing of Kirkpatrick Street, now on 5 key locations and intersections, Alma Speed Fox Way. Took us over 2 years, but we got there. Alma Speed Fox. The Hill District Consensus Group, and we need what? Consensus. Sisters saving ourselves now. Say that with me. Sisters saving ourselves now. Black Women's Policy Center. Say it with me. Black Women's Policy Center. Let's give a hand for our partners. All right. Before we bring up our MC for the evening, facilitator, some of you know that the NAACP Pittsburgh branch is trying to come back and be a fighting force for Pittsburgh and beyond. And about a year and a half or less, I got to meet this guy. He called me. We had lunch or dinner, whatever we had, lunch. And we've been talking ever since. Sometimes we talk 2 or 3 times in a day, but we talk several times a week. And we both think it's important because some of us have been out here for decades and others are just starting. And we think it's important to have that intergenerational movement between the organizations and agencies. Do y'all believe with that? You agree with that? Yes. And I'm proud that the 29-year-old deals frequently with the almost 79-year-old on a weekly basis, and that's pretty cool. And he's grown to be special to me, and hopefully he'll become special to you. Give a warm welcome to the stage of the new, relatively new, president of the NAACP Pittsburgh branch, Dalen A. Davis.
Well, good evening.
Good evening.
I have the privilege of introducing your moderator for tonight, Ms. Tanae Kroom. Me and Ms. Tanae go way back when I used to be a young thing in the NAACP. A little bit of her history and her bio. Tanae Kroom is a veteran broadcast journalist and public relations executive working for decades in Pittsburgh as an anchor and news director at SPN and AURN networks, as well as WAMO FM and AM. Tanae was the former communications director for then PA State Representative Ed Gainey when he ran his successful campaign for mayor of the city of Pittsburgh. Currently, she is a senior public relations specialist at the Allegheny County Sanitary Authority and the president of her own communications/marketing company, Tanae Kroom Communications. Tanae was among panelists discussing diversity in the media at the Cavestro, you see my age is showing here, I don't know how to say certain things. Summit in Pittsburgh, the summit on evolving the image of African American male in American media, held at the University of Pittsburgh. In addition, she served as a moderator or panelist at other major conferences, including the National Urban League and the National Association of Black Journalists, of which she is chair. Among her awards is the Onyx Women Magazine Leadership Award, the Pittsburgh Black Media Federation Legacy Award, and the New Pittsburgh Courier 50 Women of Excellence Awards. She believes, that's right, give her a shout out. She believes in giving back to the community and serves on the boards of the Rankin/Mon Valley/Pittsburgh section of the National Council of Negro Women, the League of Women Voters, Greater Pittsburgh, and in Sisterhood, the Women's Movement in Pittsburgh. Please give a round of applause for this phenomenal woman, Ms. Tanae Kroom.
That was not a microphone drop moment, but hey, I'll take it.
I am so happy to be here because voting, I don't have to tell you because you're here, is very important. But you know what is even more important? An informed voter. What do you think about that? Yes? Absolutely. And that is why the people are here tonight to inform you about themselves and why you should vote for them. So listen, take notes if you want to. If you don't write it down, put it up here and note about what they are telling you, what they are saying, but more importantly, whoever you believe and whatever you believe, Democrat, Republican, Independent, or you're saying, well, I'm not sure, but get off the fence and vote. Yes, think about it, because now more than ever, your vote is so important. I'm not trying to tell you who to vote for, and I'm not going to sit on this soapbox very much longer, but I'm going to say your vote counts. Your vote is important. Your vote is critical. Your vote is crucial to the future of that young lady back there serving you that chili, that young man, those people that are at home, those people that are watching us streaming tonight. It is very critical. We have a lot of people coming up here, state treasurer candidates, congressional districts, and so on and so forth. So first up, Aron Mlen, a Democrat for state treasurer. Ah, my goodness gracious, the state treasurer, Pennsylvania treasurer, as she walks up, is a four-year term. Please come on up, thank you. The custodian of more than 150 billion with a B in Commonwealth tax receipts and funds, responsible for the receipt and deposit of state monies and for the investment, management, and oversight of all withdrawals and deposits from state agencies. Let's give a hello, how are you, to Ms. Mlen. Thank you so much.
How y'all doing, Pittsburgh? I am Aron Mlen, and I am running to be your next state treasurer. Probably one of the most boring offices on your ballot this year, but we're gonna try and make it some fun. And it is really nice to be in my backyard in Allegheny County. I was born and raised here, and what's significant to me about the North Side is after I graduated from the University of Pittsburgh with a degree in psychology, my first counseling job was on the North Side at Pittsburgh Black Action. Yeah, we did some great work, and it was pretty aggressive back then. So I really enjoyed the learning that I got in that organization, and was so proud of that work. And it led me to spend 18 years in mental health and drug and alcohol and social service work, which is my passion. I also started a small business in the state. It was the first and only of its kind, licensed to treat addiction and mental health, and we got featured twice in Industrial Engineer magazine for that. And I also spent a year training under former United States Treasury Secretary Paul O'Neill, who was also from right here in Pittsburgh. So my interest in this job is we need to get back into the community. The treasurer normally spends most of her time in an office managing pension funds. We have 4 funds, 3-year pensions for the teachers, the state workers, and the municipal workers, and managing our investments. Our current treasurer is a Republican. We lost that seat in 2020, and since then we've seen the position pretty radicalized. Now, it's a very new thing to take teachers' pensions and invest them in foreign wars. But that is apparently what our current treasurer has decided is a good idea to do. Investing in bonds in Israel, making decisions about other countries and their bonds to make statements about foreign policy. Now that's for the federal government, that's not for a state treasurer. So I strongly disagree that we should be using our workers' retirements and jeopardizing their life and their golden years on political expedience and re-election promises. Second of all, and this is for everybody that is a frontline worker or anybody that happens to work for a small business, our current treasurer wants to mandate a savings scam on every small business in the state. It's unregulated. The Exchange Commission says that it is highly susceptible to fraud, and every bartender, barista, and frontline worker would be required to have their information disclosed to the state treasurer. I also fundamentally disagree with that policy. Now I'd like to get to some of the fun stuff and the stuff that I would like to do. First of all, we have a great program in the FDIC to create mission-driven banking. These are banks for underbanked and unbanked communities. Now, a lot of our small banks in urban communities as well as rurals were closed after the savings and loan crisis. This is money and a framework. So when you go into your community, you don't have to use a too-big-to-fail bank. You can put your money in and know that it's being loaned out to your neighbors, your friends, and your families to buy homes, cars, and an education, infusing your values, not big banks. That's a program that I think we could take throughout the entire state and would be of incredible value to unbanked and underbanked communities. Furthermore, this would allow us to create minority deposit institutions, banks that are designed to be owned by people of color and women. And believe it or not, we only have 3 in the entire state. 2 are in Philadelphia, 1 is in Montgomery County. The last thing I want to go over with you is cybersecurity. I don't know if you heard, but the Aliquippa Water Authority was hacked by Iran. And Chester County lost $400,000 in a phishing scheme, and the entire Washington County government was shut down to a ransomware attack. The National Association of State Treasurers believes that the state treasurer is responsible for that. I want to get into these communities and provide our local elected officials the support that they need, especially in our inner cities where we know that they have a lot of infrastructure issues, and our rural communities where we know that broadband is a huge issue. I want to thank you all for your time, and I want to let you know that because of the work that I've done in communities of color in the past, and the work that I plan to do forward on root cause problem solving and root cause racism in our public sector workforce, I was proud to get the endorsement of the concerned Black clergy of the city of Philadelphia. And I look forward to earning your support moving forward in this race. Thank you all so much for your time this evening, and remember to vote on April 23rd.
Thank you very much. And we all know that Pennsylvania is in the spotlight. What do they call us? A battleground state.
Battleground state. So, what I want to do is continue, and I want to bring up Tawanda Carlisle. She is here for Latasha Mays, our state representative and representing the 24th Legislative District. Tawanda. Thank you, Tawanda.
Good evening, everyone. I know it's rainy outside, and I know we're tired, but a good evening, everyone, because we're live. We're here today, we're here tonight to talk about politics and talk about elections, so good evening, everyone. To the sponsors of tonight's event, thank you for having such a wonderful event to educate the voters of each candidate that is running for office. Tonight, I represent Natasha D Mays of the 24th Legislative District. She's in her first term as a state legislator. And who to represent her best but her district office director, someone who works closely with her every day and see how she flows through the state of Pennsylvania. When I tell you she is one of the hardest working representatives, she truly is one of the hardest working representatives because I get no sleep. She calls all night, she thinks all day, and I get a text up until about midnight because they have a baby and she's woke. But that lets me know that she's thinking about her district. She's thinking about making change in the community in which she serves, which is from East Hills to parts of the Hill District. We abut parts of Homewood with State Representative Abigail Salsbury of the 34th District, and we abut the Hill District with State Representative Abney of the 19th District. And when I say we work together with those representatives, we work together because we're all one when you talk about Western Pennsylvania. Representative Mays has been busy in her first term, truly busy. I want to give you some statistics, and usually I don't like statistics, but these are very important. Last year alone, in her first year, we've seen 11,033 people in 1 year. Now, there's only 365 days in a year. To that note, we only work 5 days of the 365 days each week. So you times that out. We've hosted 949 events in some capacity, whether we partnered with someone or we hosted them on our own, 949 events. 131 bills, 3 she prime sponsored, such as the Crown Act in the recent months. To date, yes, that's worthy of applause. Now let's talk about some money, because you know when you talk about the African American communities, because let's be real, you all, we talk about low income, deprived communities, and what do people come back from when they're coming from Harrisburg to their community? To date, she has back $46.92 million for the 24th Legislative District. I didn't say, let's say that again, $24 million. And when you don't see her in a district, you know, there's sometimes People say, oh, I didn't see her. We had an event. Did you tell us about it? There's lots of times we don't know about things that are going on in the community, and you assume we do. Pick up the phone, make sure we get a call and invite her. If she can't come, someone from the office will be there. She's about the community, she's about change. She's the first person that I know of who will pick up the phone to help anyone. And that's truly who Natasha D. Mays is. So if I ask you to do anything, I'll support her in any way you can, whether you support her with something in your window, something on your porch, something in your yard, by writing a check, and the ultimate support is a vote. And if you don't live in the 24th district, tell somebody who does to vote for Natasha D. Mays for state representative for the 24th legislative district. Thank you.
Thank you. And now, about the 12th congressional district, Republican James Hayes.
Well, thank you. And as we said, I am the Republican candidate for the 12th Congressional District right here in Pittsburgh and the surrounding areas. I really thank Voting is Power for having me here. It's a great opportunity for me. And it's a great opportunity for me to tell you a little bit about myself. So I'm a native Pennsylvanian and the son of a steel worker. And I'm proud to say that when I was in high school, the steel workers actually held a competition, and I won a partial scholarship through them that helped me to go to Georgetown and continue on to a bunch of different really great schools. I have 5 kids. My wife, Brenda, who is originally from Mexico, and actually we met when I was living and working in Mexico with one of the corporations down there. I have 30 years in industry and finance, including 6 years with the Federal Reserve Bank of Richmond. I am really inspired by the work I had as a member of the Federal Reserve in terms of public service, and that public service inspiration is really what helps me to decide to run today. But I have another inspiration, and that inspiration is you. I sincerely don't believe that you're being represented the way you deserve in Congress today, and I have to change that. I believe in building safe communities. I mean, I think we're all shocked by the crime that's occurred in the city of Pittsburgh. I think it's untenable, and I think we can improve it. I believe we need to support law enforcement, of course hold them accountable, but we need to support them. Obviously, criminal reform is important, but we need to make sure that the people that are causing the crime are in jail and away from the community. But I think that's only 25% of the issue. I think we need to have programs that support our youth, that help build a great culture within our youth, that build accountability, that build responsibility. I spoke to Josiah. He has a group that uses sports. I met some other people that are looking to use squash. Those are great programs. When I was a youngster many years ago, I was in the Naval Sea Cadets. I don't know if you know that program, but it's basically the Boy Scouts run by the Navy Department. I learned responsibility, I learned citizenship, I learned personal accountability. I believe that's important for our young people. It can't just be one-sided. I think we need to support job growth in our region, and we can do that by focusing. People are looking to shut down our natural gas industry. That could be a great driver for jobs here in central Pennsylvania, in western Pennsylvania. Now, people are pushing for a minimum wage. If we have strong job growth, if we encourage people to come and put jobs here in western Pennsylvania, you won't need a minimum wage because the competition for workers will drive up that wage, and will make sure that we have great opportunities and great working conditions for our workers. And then finally, I'm an advocate for school choice. So when I was growing up, my parents, we started out in not a great school district. I look at the trajectory that I was on during that period, and it really makes the hair stand on the back of my neck as to where I could have ended up. I like to joke that I could potentially be the smartest criminal in Pennsylvania today if my parents hadn't had the ability to move us into a better neighborhood, into a better school district where it made a 180-degree difference in my life. And so I don't believe that a person should be relegated to a poor school just because there's a code, and I believe that the money should follow the child. I think there's nothing fairer than that. And so I'm not looking to become a TikTok star or make a big brouhaha on Facebook. I'm looking to get results. I'm looking to go to Washington to represent you, to represent your interest, to advocate for your needs. And so I hope that you'll consider voting for me in November 5th. You can find out more about me on jameshayesforpa.com. If you would like to have me come to your events, I'm happy to come. Since they don't allow questions here, I'm sure you'd like to know more. I'm happy to go and answer any questions. Again, I thank Voting is Power for this opportunity, and I look forward to your support. Thank you very much.
You have got the power right there in your hand to pull the lever. Well, it's no longer a lever, doesn't it? Well, I'm going to say euphemistically it's a lever, right? Now, we are going to go to the 45th Senatorial District with McKenzie White, the Democrat. Thank you. Round of applause. So, McKenzie.
Thank you. Thanks everyone for being here tonight on this rainy night. My name is McKenzie White. I'm running for Pennsylvania State Senate for District 45. As some of you may know, that seat is Jim Brewster's seat. He's currently retiring. It includes the Mon Valley, parts of East Pittsburgh, and part of the South Hills. I am a social worker, a public health professional, and a community organizer, and I decided to run for this seat because I was working in these communities and I felt like as a social worker I couldn't help make a difference because so many of our problems are a lot bigger than us. I started my career working in disability services with adults with traumatic brain injuries and really saw firsthand a lot of the issues that came about from policies that were implemented, and I learned how I felt like we needed more diverse educational backgrounds in Harrisburg because a lot of the problems we all face are not always well represented, right? I don't think we have a lot of leaders who know how Medicaid works or how to fill out disability applications or what those processes look like. And we need lots of people at the table with different backgrounds. So some of my priorities to focus on, I think a lot of us would agree that abortion rights and reproductive access are on the ballot this year again. For me as a woman and as a health professional, I feel that this is incredibly important. We need to make sure that these rights are protected, as well as for those in surrounding states who do have restrictions now and will come here for care. And part of that, I think, is also addressing the maternal mortality issue that our area faces, especially for Black and Brown communities. My second goal is to work on our education system. Specifically in the 45th district, we had the law that showed that our education system is unconstitutional. I think we knew that for a while, right? The education that our kids are getting in different areas is drastically different based on their zip code, and I don't think that should be the case. I think it's more than just increasing funding, but we have to allocate that funding better and make sure that every kid, no matter where they live, has a good education. And lastly, the last couple of years, I've worked as an environmental organizer in this district in areas like Plum and Braddock, Pitcairn, Elizabeth, and I've seen firsthand the issues a lot of our communities are facing, and I believe that we need to take a more proactive stance on a lot of these environmental issues. I think that everyone wants their kid to breathe clean air, and no one wants their kid to have asthma. We all are just trying to put food on the table and work good jobs. And I think both of those things can coexist, but we need leadership that's going to take an active role in leveraging a lot of the federal funds that are available for environmental programs, and also addressing the environmental justice issues that we see in a lot of these communities. So those are some of the top issues for me. I grew up in a working family, so protecting working family rights are incredibly important to me. My dad was in a union, my mom is a teacher, so those are all things that I hold very close to my heart. And I think at the end of the day, we just want leaders who are going to show up in our communities and ask what we need. We don't need leaders that have the answers to everything. I think our communities have the solutions we need. We just need leaders who are going to show up every day in our communities and ask and work with us. And that's what I would do as your next state senator. So thank you.
Now we're moving to the 19th legislative district, and Jamal for Aron Mlen, the Democrat. Thank you. This is not Jamal. This is the person who gives you instructions. So I'll call him an instructor man. I am really short. Jamal, hi. This is Jamal here. There you go. Hi. So again, Jamal, for Aron Mlen, 19 legislative district.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 19th district. So I am privileged to stand before you and represent Representative Abney, who is unable to be here this evening, but does send his regards. Representative Abney was elected a little over 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago now, during a special election. And as my distinguished friend and colleague, Tawanda Carlisle, was mentioning, the coalitions that have been formed, what is actually being done in Harrisburg that so many of us sometimes overlook, and Tawanda talked about. 19th district, what Representative Abney has been able to do in a short time. I'm also going to let you know he's brought home over $40 million to the 19th district. $40 million to the 19th district. And what I say, what that means, what that looks like, because a lot of people hear money, they hear numbers, but what that means is that's the investment that's going into our children. Those are the investments that are going into our clean drinking water. Those are the investments that are going into our safety and our security, our neighborhoods, to build the kind of communities that we want to see so everyone has a shot. Everyone has some opportunity to prosper. And what I can say to you today is that's what Representative Abney is going to continue to fight for. Thriving communities that represent all of us, but not only all of us, but what brings out the best in us to make us, each and every one of us, the best that we can be. Now, as I close, what I'm going to tell you is that we're very fortunate. So obviously, there are enough people in the 19th district that believe in this philosophy and believe in the results that Representative Abney is delivering. We don't have an opponent. So we're very grateful for that. But what that does mean is that we're going to hit the streets. We're not just going to sit around and take it for granted, because what we have to do is build the kind of coalitions that were talked about before. We have to get out and make sure that candidates up and down the ballot who share the values that we have are also going to be elected and or re-elected to those positions, because that's how this is done. This is not done through one single entity or one single individual. This is going to be done through coalition building of shared values who want to see shared prosperity. So if you want to join that team, feel free to visit us at votearion.com. Join our team because we're going to be in the streets from basically now all the way into November until we get this election behind us. And then we're going to continue down the road that we've started to make sure that we continue to build prosperous communities. Thank you.
Areas Avenue, 19th Legislative District, Democrat. Now we go to the 34th Legislative District, Abigail Salsbury. I hope I pronounced that right. Another Democrat. Abigail Salsbury, the 34th Legislative District.
Good evening, my name is Abigail Salsbury. I represent the 34th District High. I have part of Homewood and I have part of Point Breeze in the city. I also have Braddock, North Braddock, Braddock Hills, Churchill, Chalfont, Edgewood, East Pittsburgh, Forest Hills, Rankin, Swissvale, Wilkins, and Wilkinsburg. I come from Swissvale. I was on council in Swissvale for 5 years. I am an attorney. I have a reduced rate legal practice for nonprofits and small businesses that otherwise might not have any access to legal services. And I have been in office for 13 months. I was elected last February in the special election in 2023, and so I am running once again. In the past 13 months that I've been in office, I've put a great deal of work into intergovernmental cooperation. As you heard from my laundry list of boroughs and townships, I have quite a few. So those 13 communities really need to work together. My smallest community, Chalfont, only has 700 people in it, but a lot of these communities are expected to provide their own police, their own Department of Public Works, their own borough manager, their own borough building, and on and on and on. What we've seen is it has become, in many cases, too much. So that leaves us with the responsibility of working together to achieve a lot of these goals. So what I've tried to do is last year and this year hold regular intermunicipal cooperation meetings. Many of the elected officials, and I have over 100 elected officials just in my district, have told me that they had never met any of the other people who were elected officials in the district before they had the opportunity to meet them. If we are supposed to work together and do intergovernmental cooperation, how are we supposed to if we never even meet each other? So that's been a huge focus of mine. I also started the nonprofit caucus as a nonprofit attorney and a former executive director. I'm very familiar with the hard work that nonprofits, just like the ones that invited us here today, put into making a difference in our community. That might be everything from animal rescues, food pantries, religious organizations. 15% of Pennsylvanians work for a nonprofit, but there was absolutely nothing in the state legislature that provided a place for them to go. So I'm very proud that I'm Democratic House Chair of the Nonprofit Caucus. Jay Costa is the Senate Democratic Chair. We also have Senator Culver and Representative Joe Hogan, so that it's both Republicans and Democrats, House and Senate. We held a nonprofit symposium last year. We'll be doing another one this year, so if you'd like to come, please make sure you sign up. We did a day-long program, and we brought in 170 different nonprofit organizations to learn how you get money from the state, legal updates. I brought another lawyer from Philadelphia because I'm not allowed to provide legal advice in my capacity as a state rep. We did networking because it's so important to work together to leverage those relationships in our area between the nonprofits. I'm also proud to announce that coming out tomorrow morning, we'll be announcing 10 scholarship winners who will be attending CCAC Homewood Brushton for free. Thank you. They will be coming out for 12 months. They will be attending a 12-month program to learn nonprofit budgeting, nonprofit grant writing, and many other important skills that will allow them, if they want to at the end, to start even their own business, because they can be a nonprofit grant writer as soon as they register with the state of Pennsylvania as a registered professional fundraising council. They could set up an LLC for $125, get registered with the state. They're a small business owner who's fully qualified, because at the end of the program, they're going to repay or pay it forward, if you will, that scholarship by providing 40 hours of free consulting and grant writing services for communities within District 34. So thank you very much. I'm incredibly proud of the achievement of putting that together with the partnership of the Health and Education Alliance, CCAC Homewood Brushton, Pittsburgh Foundation. I think that we have to focus a lot on what I've been calling grant equity. In our communities, there is no excuse for Braddock to get no money from the state, while Churchill, or where I live in Swissvale, gets hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. Places like East Pittsburgh, Rankin, or Braddock in my district, or Homewood, have just as much of a need to get money in, but in many cases, those communities have no one who knows how to write a grant because they just can't afford to pay somebody to do it. And they might only have a budget of $1 million a year as contrasted with the $6 million that we have in Swissvale, so they just can't pay somebody to do it. My mother is a grant writer for the borough of Wilkinsburg, and I've seen her bring in millions of dollars for Wilkinsburg, but I have not seen the same results in many of the other communities, so I know the difference that a good grant writer can bring. That's why in this year's budget, in my seat on appropriations, I've gotten 9 seats, or 9 positions paid for in the Pennsylvania state budget to provide free grant writing services for low-income municipalities across the state of Pennsylvania. That means that thank you. That means that a place like Braddock can get just as much of a crack at getting a grant as a place like maybe Sewickley, let's say. So grant equity, thank you very much. My name is Abigail Salsbury, District 34.
Thank you so much. Now, we've got a special treat for you. There are a lot of people representing organizations in the audience. And we got some people that are very, very excited out there. I like that. I like that excitement out there. But I want to bring up some people representing organizations. Please come forward and say a couple of words. Who's out there with organizations? Please come forward. Got the League of Women Voters starting out. Please come forward. And you can say a few words. In your own way.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. You have heard from some of the candidates on your ballot. I have a way for you to learn about all the candidates on your ballot. You can go to the League of Women Voters website and you can get it from this postcard that's out at the league table. LWVPGH.org, League of Women Voters Pittsburgh.org. We have just put up the Voters Guide, which has information about everyone running in Allegheny County from president down to state representatives. It has their photo, their bio, and their answers to 3 questions. You can compare and contrast each of the candidates' answers, and you make up your mind who you like best based on the issues that you care about. Also, this will be in hard copy form tomorrow in the Pittsburgh Courier. The Pittsburgh Courier is printing the entire voter's guide. And, I'm told to stop. I'm not stopping. But that wasn't 5. Was that 5 minutes?
Judy, give me your contact information once again.
Okay. Sorry, people. Whoa, sorry. LWVPGH.org. You can pick up a postcard on your way out, buy a Pittsburgh Courier, or pick one up at any of the 70 libraries. They should be there by Thursday or Friday. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Crystal Martha Knight, and I work for a national nonpartisan nonprofit called Vote Riders. And what we do is work exclusively on voter ID education and assistance. So what that boils down to is that we help people understand our voter ID laws, but we also help people apply and pay for their IDs. We go to shelters, food pantries, resource fairs, events just like these, just to see if anybody needs help getting their ID. You can visit us at voteriders.org. We have a helpline that's 866-ID-2-VOTE, and we would love to help you if you need that help or if you have someone in your life that you know would love to have that financial assistance. So thank you so much.
All right.
Hello, my name is Dana Dolney. I am the grassroots organizer for Just Harvest. We are a nonprofit that works diligently to help uplift people out of poverty in whichever way that means. So we do work at the policy level, federal, state, and local. We also work with direct programming, so if you know anyone that needs help attaining anything like SNAP or LIHEAP, any type of program like that, those are the types of policies that we also work on. So if you'd also like to learn more about why we consider voting so important, please go to our website, justharvest.org, learn about who supports the programs and the services that you need. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ramika. I'm a resident of the North Side. I'm no fancy person, nobody of importance. I'm just a preemie volunteer with the coalition, but I am, however, interested in finding organizations that help our young youth and kids and young mothers who has kids to try to better the community and get better opportunities for them. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is John Ukenya. I am the Advocacy and Policy Officer with the Urban League of Greater Pittsburgh. I'm here as a representative of the Urban League, proud member of the VIP Pittsburgh Regional Coalition. Our Urban League's current values are demand democracy, defend diversity, and to defeat poverty. And we believe that this election is extremely crucial, this 2024 election. And we're here to do our part to make sure that our people are properly represented, that they get their voice heard at the ballot, and that our elected officials know what our people are fighting for and what we stand for. And we're glad to be here, and thank you so much to the elected officials that are present, as well as candidates and everybody who came out. Your voice is important. Here in the Urban League, we believe your vote is your voice, and your voice is your power, and we must all do our part to defend our voice. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Lyn Thompson Lamar McKinley. I feel like I'm Elizabeth Taylor because I have all these last names. But just think of me as LT, Lyn Thompson. I'm representing the organization Fighting Back. And what we're doing is we are taking on the criminal justice system. We've picked up 3 cases as to where there's wrongful people that have been incarcerated and they shouldn't be there. So we're fighting to do that. And we're also fighting to help people that are on probation and parole. We're gonna have a forum. I'll let you guys know. If you wanna get in touch with us, the number is 412-616-4482. We're here to fight back. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. How we doing? All right, I've got 1 minute. I'll try to fill it. My name is Josiah Gilliam, and I'm the executive director at PUMP. We're a civic engagement organization that mainly serves young professionals. Our largest program is Pittsburgh Sports League, so adult recreational leagues all throughout the city and the county. But we're a civic engagement organization, so we do forums, meetings like this. We're proud to be a partner tonight. And we try to encourage people to get involved, to learn what's going on, to figure out where they fit, and to make sure that their voice is heard. Obviously, this year we're thinking about voting, but also boards and commissions and volunteer opportunities. We want to be a switchboard for young professionals in this moment so that they put down roots, get involved, and make an impact. We think that's important to do in Pittsburgh. We think it's possible, and we're happy to be here. One last plug: we just released our new strategic roadmap today. So go to our website, pump.org, and you can learn a little bit about the history of Pump, how we think we're positioned, and how we want to grow in collaboration and in partnership with Pittsburgh at this moment in time. Thank you for having me.
All right.
Good evening, everyone. I am Marin Formley. I'm the executive director of VEAM. This is a very tall podium, so I'm up on my tiptoes. Unlike my tall cousin over here, I gotta work hard to get it. It's all good though. I am the executive director of VEAM, the Voter Empowerment, Education, and Enrichment Movement. We have been around since 2017 to increase voter turnout in Allegheny County. I just want to let you know that there are only 26 tickets left for our brunch with the candidates this Saturday. You can find it on Eventbrite. Listen, it is free, okay? Roxanne's catering, free. And you get to meet a whole bunch of candidates, very similar to tonight, but anyway, so just wanted to send you to our Eventbrite and thank all of our partners at the Voting is Power Coalition. Together we can. Thank you. You want me back?
Say the location again at the time. The brunch. Say the time and location.
I mean, I wanted to send them too, but okay, yes. It is Saturday, April 6th, 10 a.m. at the Homewood YMCA.
All right.
Thank you, Ms. Tanae. I thought he was just repronouncing my name for fun.
Well, hello. How you doing? Hi. Say hello. Come on, y'all. This is a good time. VIP. Voting is important. My name is Javon Rainy. I'm with the National John Lewis Transformative Justice Coalition. Miss Trish. Oh, my mouth is big enough. Miss Trish, Miss Cynthia, my granddaughter Jasmine. This is what we talk about, putting our young folks to work. We got to. And also, Pittsburgh High Ground Praise Ministry, Pastor Dolores Thrower, boots on the ground. We do what we can because we got to get down. And VIP, I love you guys. We have 30 partners. We make it work. Miss Judy, Miss Lorraine, Mr. Tim, and all our partners. Let me say this to each and every one of you. Don't forget, voting is important, but voting is power. Voting is your voice. Because our young folks, the Gen Zs, the millennials, and ZG, whatever you want to call them, we got to give them a reason to vote. And I've been saying this to my partners. So let's keep it real. But they got me on stop. They know I can go on and on and on. But it's truly a pleasure. But I wanted to play one thing, and y'all probably heard it earlier.
Keep moving. If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But by all means,
keep moving.
Just good evening, everyone. My name is Will Tomkins. I'm representing two organizations tonight. One is the 100 Black Men of Western Pennsylvania. We're a national office based out of Atlanta. We have an initiative called Real Men Vote. Real Men Vote.
Say it again.
Real Men Vote. And that's the 100 Black Men. And then the other organization is the TMAG, Talk Minority Action Group. Many of you know Luther and Roxanne Sewell, so I'm representing TMAG this evening. And the last thing before I sit down, I got 30 seconds, but Tim Stevens told me I had 5 minutes. No, he didn't say that. He didn't say that. I'm gonna get something started up in here. But anyway, very quickly though, I'm mindful of our ancestors, and I'm mindful of a phrase that our ancestors adopted during the Civil Rights Movement in particular, and that was "no ways tired." Again, no ways tired. So we got a lot of work to do, brothers and sisters. We need to take care of business. We need to pray for those folks and brothers and sisters in Haiti, and in the Gaza Strip, and in Chad, and Sudan, and South Sudan, etc., and Ukraine as well. Bless you. Have a good evening.
Yes. And what is also very important to note that I think that you should know are some dates. Put it in your pocket, put it on your calendars, write it somewhere that you're going to remember. April the 8th at 5 p.m. is the last day to register to vote. April the 8th at 5 p.m. is the last day to register to vote. Now, I know everybody in this room is already registered to vote, right? Yeah? Okay. April the 16th at 5 p.m. is the last day to apply for a mail-in ballot. I'll say that again. April 16th, April 16th at 5 p.m. day to apply for a mail-in ballot. What's April 23rd, y'all? Hello, you get the prize. A big smile from me. Everything about me is big, especially my behind, but anyway, I digress. From 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. on April 23rd, you vote at the polls, like you said. Now, April 23rd at 8 p.m.,
Mail-in ballots must be received. How about that? Maybe didn't know that. I want to give a special shout out to two very important people, Judy Mancini and Ellen Christian, the two very, very special ladies sitting at that table right in front. Yes. Now, they weren't holding fans to fan with. They're not the church ladies. They were holding them because they're the timekeepers doing something very, very important with the League of Women Voters. And give them a big round of applause. Very special ladies. Thank you so very much. Now, Tim, did you want to do the duty of giving a very recognized, like you do, the special way that you do, recognizing the VIP sponsors again? Did you do what you do so well? Thank you. And I have really, truly enjoyed it. Tanae Kroon, I never speak of myself in third person. That sounds kind of nutty. As they say, I'm a Southerner, I'm from Tennessee, a child of Appalachia. And there's an ice cream called Nutty Buddy, so I always say, that sounds kind of Nutty Buddy. But anyway, I enjoyed it, I love it, you guys are wonderful. Thank you so much for having me.
The one and only Tanae Kroon, ladies and gentlemen, one of the great voices of radio. Some of you may not remember, but she was on American Urban Radio Network across the nation in the early days of Whammo. So you could hear her voice at 3 in the morning and know it was Tanae Kroon because of her unique style. While Javon Rainy prepares our last comments, we want you to know next Tuesday we have another candidates night at St. James AME Church in East Liberty, 444 Lincoln Avenue. And the following Tuesday, the 16th, will be at Beulah Baptist Church in the, what is that, 15210? Is that correct? Bell Silver area. And our flyers will be being sent out once again. So we need every partner to send it out a couple times in the next few days to remind folks and inform folks. You ready? We have some pop-ups. She'll explain what the pop-ups are.
Okay, we have VIP and our 30 partners. We're going to have a pop-up voters registration, April 6th, from 2 to 5. We have several locations from the east, west, north, and south. For the Hill District, it will be at Celine's Market. Location is 1850 Center Avenue, Pittsburgh, PA 15219, from 2 to 5. Then we have the Urban League the East Side, the Urban League Family Support Center. The location is 2320 East Hills Drive, rear, Pittsburgh, PA 15221. That's FEMA also. Not to exclude you. Okay, the North Side, we will be at the Gathering Place, 501 East Ohio Street from 2 to 5. Miss Cynthia English will be our co-captain there. I will be joining them later. And Wilkinsburg. Parking lot across from Save-A-Lot, 725, you know when you get old, you're glad your eyes go, so I'm just letting you know. 725 Ross Avenue, Pittsburgh, PA 15221. Please come out, it's only 3 hours. We need to register people to vote because April 23rd is what? Election. And the due date to return the registered voters, Miss Judy is our educator, astute, very astute to keep us, let us know. April 8th must be downtown by 5 p.m. Please register people to vote, come out and volunteer, and have a good time with us. The purpose, we are the reason for the season. And VIP is the mission. Let's get it together, y'all. Boots on the ground. Oh, y'all don't get no round of applause? Oh, yeah, right,
On behalf of the Voting is Power Pittsburgh Regional Coalition, good night. See you guys next week.